What's up, everybody? We are back. SharkNation number 81. Today, Jason and I are going to talk about personal brand. So feel free, the comments are always live. Feel free to throw that in here if you're tuning in live. Give us some comments. We'd love to answer any questions and everything as we go. But Jason, my man, how's it going today?
Doing awesome, buddy. Got a ton of different projects going on, business related, team related, all kinds of good stuff going on. Super pumped on some big things coming soon. I'll just say that.
So momentum.
Momentum is there's some gas on the fire here with the team, and we got a bunch of new people that are going to be joining up. I think first week of July is going to be our next onboarding class. So anybody that's looking to make a move, wants to join up with us, I'm pitching. I'm doing the personal brand stuff.
Yeah, but it's so I've experienced. I know we talk a lot outside of this, but I've got a lot of momentum going myself. And it's funny. I was talking to Brittany the other day, and it's like. It's like a snowball, and it's building snow, and it's picking. Obviously, that's the definition of momentum, but it's definitely what I'm feeling. It's fair to say I think you are too. But I broke it. She kind of asked like, what's doing it, right? Like what's working, and it's funny. It's like literally every win we're having right now comes from something that we've been doing. Like whether it's this podcast or YouTube or calling or recruiting or open houses or branding, Facebook, you name it. Pick the thing, coaching, whatever. Everything has resulted in something.
It's amazing when you take massive amounts of action, what it does to your business and your personal life, right?
What's interesting, it's weird, like, because it's so funny because like some of them have different time frames that they started or some of them take naturally longer than others. Like picking up the phone is quicker than building a personal brand or doing YouTube videos, for example. But it's funny how like a lot of our things are hitting like right now, and it's weird, like, because I think even though things hit at different ways, I feel like just life in general has those peaks and those valleys, and you go in wins and loss phases. So like if I give anybody anything today, the biggest lesson I've learned over the last few years is this too shall pass. Like when it's really, really good, it's not probably as good as you think. And if it's really, really bad, it's probably not as bad as you think. So let's dive in. Let's go to personal brand. Let me ask you first, Jason, would you say that, the gut reaction that you have a personal brand?
No, I don't.
Cool. So let me ask you, because I think this is the most important thing for real estate agents when it comes to a personal brand and answering that question. Have you ever gotten a deal from Facebook or any social media, any internet related things?
I have. Yes, I have.
You have a personal brand?
Oh, no, we actually were doing that off before we started. We were just BSing about it. So yeah, no, I do definitely believe that I do have a personal brand. I think the team does as well. But but like you said, if we take a step back, there's how did that develop, right?
Right.
I'd say for newer agents or anybody listening that's kind of trying to think about doing their own thing. Or, I always tell team members, the goal of the team is to help accelerate your learning curve. It's not to keep you on the team forever. I want to make it where I have everything in place where, I'd love for you to stay forever, but eventually it's fly, little birdie, fly. So you got to start thinking about your own personal brand and how you want to set up your business for the future. Number one is not being a secret agent. Number two is, right, and it's not just the online presence. It's Missouri, the show me state. Your personal brand is everything that you do, all the value that you provide, all the resources that you help people with. All that stuff adds up to build your personal brand.
Let me trigger a few people and just cut right through it. Here's what it's not. It's not hiring a company to post for you, especially those auto posters that just post stuff that no one reads. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's not posting memes about real estate constantly. It's not creating a separate business page that 20 people like when you have 2,000 friends on your personal page. The purpose of a business page is for ads and to get insights on the on posts maybe, but your audience is
And to
already in
draw
front. It's
more
a
audience in for sure. Yeah.
personal brand, not a, not a business brand. I know you're running a business, but I mean, we have examples of people who run an entire business off their Facebook personal page, but you know I think like when it comes to building a personal brand, like if you want the simplest action step, it's like document what you're doing. Like, don't try to go search for this. And I, I ping pong. I yo-yo around. I do this. But it's like the best thing you can do. Like, all right, you're a new agent. And you're in a class right now. Document what you learned today. Wow, I never realized this about real estate, but I was in class today in X, Y, Z, L, M, N, O, P. Boom, right? Like,
Yeah. Or even something simple, right? Going back and tying it into not being a secret agent. Hey, I just finished my last class of real estate school. Super pumped up. All I have to do is pass the exam, and then I can't wait to get started in my new career. Let people know what you're doing, right? Because if nobody knows that you're a real estate agent, I always tell the story to the team members. Like I have Richie on the team before he joined the team. He had 6 people buy and sell houses because they didn't realize he was an agent, just being a secret agent, right?
really good. So, and this is online and it's offline. For
Yeah.
example, I played on an adult hockey league team. Anybody that's been in any or been on the team, you've heard this a few times. On the real
I'd
estate
hockey
team,
fight you.
you'd
I'd
hockey
hockey
fight me.
I'd hockey fight you with that hoodie. I'd pull it right over and I'd just start.
We'd see who'd be the winner of that. One of us is more experienced in that arena, but
You got the youth. I got the size.
oh, I got the experience. So the personal brand, right? It's offline too. So I played in an adult hockey team back in Pennsylvania, and there was another person on the team who was a real estate agent. Um, Sold a couple houses per year, and really at the time, so did I. I was still new, but every day I come in, I would just talk about what I did. Like I would just talk about real estate. Like I wasn't even selling that much at the time. I was just like, oh, I did this stupid mastermind thing. Not stupid, but like you come into the locker room, you're just like, I was in this mastermind thing. This guy said this. It was crazy. Or I walked in this house and there was a homeless person in it. That was real. That happened. But you just narrate your day. You know what's funny? I ended up selling 3 homes from people on that team. He sold zero. We had similar home sales at the time in terms of our yearly production. I continued to grow and scale. It's because it like Jason said, like, do people know what you do? Are you a secret agent or do they know? Like, do they know you sell real estate? Like, that's the first step. And I know that's really, really simple, but think about it. Like, how many people, like, if you were to go poll, the 100 people that you most likely talk to, like, how many of them are like immediate, like real estate, Chad, real estate, Chad, real estate, Chad, real estate? And I'm going to take a quick step back further. I know I'm going really deep with this, but it's important. I had to erase a previous brand because when I got into real estate, was in a band with my wife and a good friend of ours who was a real estate agent with us for a while, James Beswick. And everybody knew me as the guy that played drums in the band and come to my show. And, that was the image. That was and I'm telling I like, all I did was talk about real estate when I got into the business. So within a few months, it was Chad real estate, Chad real estate. I had erased that old brand and created a new one
Yeah.
and
Well,
reinvented the
same
brand.
thing. For 20 years, I was the IT guy, right? Helping people with their computers. All my friends and family, if they had a computer issue, I was the guy that they called for that. So that was my brand. But like you said, you could reimagine and, redevelop the brand that you're doing now. And like you said, if people don't know what you're doing, how are you supposed to help them? The tip that I gave in school is like, take your phone, all the contacts in your phone. That's warm outreach that people can know what you're doing. All your email contacts, all your friends on social media. Everybody should know what you're doing. And like you said, I think a lot of times people are scared to develop their brand because they care what other people think of them Could you talk on that? Because I know we both have similar experiences and similar mindset on this.
Yeah, that's, and I really, man, I think about that a lot because we see it a lot. But I think the more I've thought about it over the past, especially few months, is it's a process. I don't think anybody just goes from not caring about what people think about, or goes from caring about what people think about them to not caring overnight. I think it's a process. Uh, Man, for
I don't know,
me,
man.
go ahead.
I think you could flip the switch, right? Your why's got to be bigger than your why not. Like when I was in the real estate school and I was talking about this, I told them like I got big goals. A lot of people know that Ellie, my daughter, she's 3, going to be 4. She has diagnosed with autism, right? She's nonverbal. There's a lot of different schooling, a lot of little training things. There's certain, it's not cheap, right, to get her in all this stuff. So my why is more important than my why not. So I don't really care what people think about me because I have bigger goals and bigger dreams to go for. My mom's in her 80s. If she ever needs anything, right, any kind of health stuff comes up or whatever, she doesn't have to
Yeah,
worry
but
about anything.
I think discovering that for people isn't always an overnight thing. I mean, it can be, sure, but like, I've heard that for years in a way, right? But like never really adopted anything. I always probably had a money goal, and it wasn't until and really that worked for a while for me too, because I also have this like um I don't know, like perfectionism type thing. It's not perfectionism, but like where it's like where real estate commissions worked well for me because it's like, well, I need to have padding and cushion because it's an up and down, and that like annoyance. Whoops, but that annoyance like
Yeah,
kept
getting
me
fired
going.
up
But
talking about these
but
commission checks.
oh yeah, well, not commission, but just the journey. But like, for me, like I know it was only the last couple of years that like you needed something that's outside of money. That's like a bigger why, and as everybody says,
Yeah.
but I love it formed as a mission. But like, so for me, and I've said it before, it's like I want to help other people become the best version of themselves. And that sounds simple. It's, oh, okay, I've heard that. But like, when I first said that and wrote it down, it was like I wasn't integrated with it like to my core. And
Yeah.
and it's still like I go deeper and fall deeper into that, and it's like, man, I will and I did it last night. I do this a lot. I will be dead asleep. This has actually happened last night, so it's perfect. But this is common. I'll be like tired, like falling asleep. Like I don't know. But if we start having an opportunity in front of me where I can talk about how to become a better version of self, whether it's for me, my wife, anybody, I will wake up and bring the most passion in the world because that's integrated. So if my point, why I went there, man, if you the deeper you to your why point, that big why, the deeper you integrate with that why, if you do that quicker, great, the more you won't give a shit about what anybody, like, I could care less if 99,000 people hate what I'm saying or what I'm doing or make fun of me right now or whatever, because I know that as long as I'm out there looking for that one or two, I'm on mission. And that when you fully integrate with that, you can't be
Yeah.
stopped. Like that's where it's at.
But Chad, I get what you're saying, and but I'm not ready yet. I got to get my business card. I got to get my logo. I got to get my web page. They all got to be perfect, and then I'll start.
So happy you said this because my one point I wanted to make is like your brand is not your colors. I know that we have black, white, and red. You can see my little. That's repetition. It helps reinforce the brand, like recognition of it. It's all it is. It's like if it's like if you text a lot of people and then you found a better CRM to text them quicker, right? But it still needs you. It still needs the input, right? It's a tool, the colors and all that. Yeah, I've changed my colors, my brandings, my logos, my stuff like 100 times. Like it's like, what mood am I in? Just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter like you think it does. It's what it mostly is, and it probably even is true for me. Is it's the better it looks, the more comfortable you are doing it. So it's about your comfort level.
Yeah. And Hermosi talks about branding, and it has ties back into like the cattle days. So cattle farmers would go and they would physically like take a hot poker and brand, put their logo on whatever their cattle or whatever they
Right.
were you know uh, animals that they were like selling or whatever to differentiate themselves from the competition, right? So all we're talking about here is like, okay, it's brand recognition. You know that if you see that the meat is from this particular cattle, it gives you an idea of better quality, better service, all that kind of stuff behind the scenes, raised well, organic, all that kind of stuff. All you're
The
doing is
number
doing the
one,
same thing.
or sorry, did I cut you off? My bad.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Well, the number one thing it's important when you come back to brand, like, cause like that's so true, but we think it's colors and all that stuff, but it's really how you make people feel. Like it's that's and you need to look at that. You need to zoom out and like put third person perspective. Look at like go look at your stuff. And I'm not always perfect with it, but like, is that how you come across to your friend? Like, is it you? You know what I mean? Like, that's and the more integrated you get with that, the you that you really are, the authenticity, right? But the more you get there, the more your brand will hit. It's like a basic thing. It sounds so simple, but boy, is that like it took me years to find, and I'm probably not still perfect, but like getting this like version of me that would be the same that if Jason or I are off air or me and my wife are talking behind closed doors, it's the same person. Do you make so you watching anybody watching this right now, like making you feel the same way that my close friends and family feel when I'm talking to them. Like that's a challenge, but that's the game.
Yeah. I always say there's a reason God only created one of you, right? Because everybody's unique.
100%.
When I talk to people, I'm like, what you see is what you get. If you talk to me in private, you talk to me in public, you see me on the show, what you see is what you get. There's no fake facade. I don't need to put on a mask for anybody. I think our guy John Sheplak was talking about this on one of his calls or whatever, but he said, he got rid of the suit and tie, right? It just wasn't him. And the more authentic and when he became his true self is when his business started to take off. I think it's true. Like I'm a flip flop and shorts kind of guy. I'm not, a suit and tie kind of guy. You know what I mean? So if you come in the office and I'm doing my trainings, I might be in a t-shirt and flip flops when it's nice. Even like Larry, the real estate, Pennsylvania Real Estate Academy trainer, the guy's freaking awesome. But he's like, hey, where's your flip flops and shorts? I got too damn cold, man. Fucking 50 degrees around there.
That's
I
the
go,
Florida
as soon
life,
as it
man.
is, the flip flops fucking start flying though. Right? I got them on right now.
So yeah. Yeah, no, and it's I mean I think that's like that so what do you say to somebody who thinks it has to look professional?
So yeah, I mean, look at don't get ready to keep getting ready to keep getting ready, right? Done is better than perfect. Um, your branding, your colors, all that kind of stuff. Like I said, pick something and go with it because you could tweak it over time. It doesn't have like my logo today isn't the same logo that I originally started with. Now it may cost money if you're going to redesign signs and all that kind of stuff. So you want to do it right for sure. But just get out there. It's way more important building that personal authenticity than the brand recognition. The brand recognition comes after you've started with the internal stuff and how you make people feel.
Well, and I want to come back because I just remembered you mentioned, about everybody's unique, and like that is the most important thing about to understand with personal brand because you're like, well, how do I differentiate or how do I be authentic? Like no one has the exact makeup of you. Like for me, right? Like I'm like tech nerdy, like I like that stuff, but at the same time, I played hockey growing up. I have kids and coach their softball team now, and I don't know. Something else that's unique about me, right? Like no one's that exact combination and went through those events, so like lean into that in your branding. Like if you've came from like maybe you're new and you came from another industry, well, there's probably somebody else that didn't, like or like here's the thing, we always view like being new as a bad thing. Like I don't have many deals, right? Nobody's going to trust me. It's like, look, all these other agents that are busy, they can't focus on you. I got nobody. Like I should say, I got nobody.
Hey, we're
I mean,
good.
I like you are my sole focus. I will get this house. So like sales is transference of conviction from one to another, right? So if you're super super like if you can transfer like look, my like only goal is getting your house sold here. Like there's other agents focused on all X, Y, all this stuff. My goal is getting around. So like that's lean into what you got is what I'm trying to get at. It's not one thing here. It's just lean into what's in front of you, like and just document and narrate it and see what comes out the other side. Like
Yeah,
it's
like Eddie L on my team. She's working on the transition, building up her own personal brand. And one of the things that we talked about unleashing, and she asked me about, and I said I love it. Is she does like a Friday funny where she'll put out like a joke every week, something fun. But that's to her personality and that's her vibe, right? And I said, yeah, you want to be authentic, and if that's what you like to do it. Because then you're going to bring in all the people that like similar stuff to you, and then they're going to, like you said, brand recognition, recognize what you're doing, how you're doing, and it's, oh yeah, she's also an agent, right?
and this stuff all works together. That's the other hard part for me that took me to like a while to get understand is like you know, the fact that I post, let's say like her joke thing, or like I just post just solds or who's the top on our leaderboard, and then I do these lives, or and then I post about stuff that's important to me, or then my kids softball and all these things. The unique composition of me is put out there, right? We've got that. Okay, cool. That's not it though, right? So there's a Facebook group. I'm in this Facebook group, and if you're a real estate agent, somebody says, I'm looking for an agent. There's 100 comments, especially if it's a large group. How do you win those, right? Speed to lead? Well, not always. And here's a case in point. I had a YouTube video talking about stuff in the area. Somebody asked, for real estate agents, said, hey, here's a guide to living in the area. I don't even remember which video it was, to be honest. And I was like 50 comments deep on this, to be clear, for the person asking for a real estate agent. They went to my profile, and I know this because on the first conversation with them, they referenced things like, I saw your girls play softball. I forget, but like that type of stuff, right? So the YouTube video worked in conjunction with the fact that I couldn't have posted that day and it worked. It was a long history of posts. It all mattered. You know what I mean? And they chose me out of the 100 plus comments just because of the personal brand that I put out there, and it was more authentic. They had a chance to get to know me, and they vibed with me, and I
Yeah.
won. Like so,
Well, real quick on that, before you
yeah,
even go down that path, if you want to go in there and you're going in these group chats and somebody's saying, hey, I'm looking for an agent to help me buy or sell my house, and there's 100 comments in here, you want to know the number one way that you can differentiate yourself from all those 100 comments?
sure.
Call them. Everybody else is saying, well, if you're ready and you want the best agent, I'm your guy or gal. You just message me anytime. I'm here for you. It's like nobody else is calling them. Just
It's
call
true.
them, right? And then, like I said, here's my stuff. And then, like I said, if you don't think people are doing research on you, you're mistaken, right? Everybody's looking up what you do, how you do it, how you act in public, all that kind of stuff. Googling you, right? Google yourself right now. What comes up? That's what other people are seeing, right? So if you don't have that, and then, like you said, that ties back into brand recognition, but people want to kind of see who they're working with, and if, what are they going to do? Google you, go to your Facebook page. What are you posting? You posting political stuff? Well, automatically you're isolating 50% of the country, right? 50% of potential clients. Are you posting
Yeah.
negative stuff and saying, "Oh, I'm a big whiner. This market stinks. I can't do nothing today,"
Well,
or
it
you,
all comes back to know, like, and trust.
yeah,
Like it comes back to know, like, and trust. Everybody knows that's what's most important about your personal brand is know, like, and trust. Well, okay, so they're gonna get to know that you're a complainer, or this that. Do they like that, right? Like nobody, like, what traits are online for you? Are they positive traits or negative traits, right? Consider
yeah,
that. Like, which, I mean, we all have positive and negative traits. So which ones are you leaning into, and which ones are you not, right? And then of course trust. Now that's the most important one. Like, you want the hack to that? You want the secret magic pill? It's vulnerability. Be vulnerable. Share what's like truthfully what's going on, and that's the number one way to get people to trust you is just be open and honest about your trials and tribulations. Like because we all got them.
yeah, yeah. Nobody's perfect. Nobody has the absolute best life. We all had our issues. We all come from struggle and hardship and overcome it. The people that don't have success stories quit before they did. The people that are a little bit more successful just didn't quit and they kept going, right? So
So true.
it's just a matter of persevering, right? And I think,
Yeah.
to be honest, I think it's from 1985 Nintendo. the generation that grew up with that, and if you could stick with some of those games and actually beat one of those games and persevere, I think it gave a lot of people like my age like a lot of street cred, a lot of like perseverance and like just like stick with itness or whatever you want to call it. And if you can beat some of these games, you'll be successful in life.
That's interesting. I don't know that I've ever thought of it that way.
That's why you bring me. This is why I'm on the show. This is why dropping
So all
nuggets.
my success is because I played Super Nintendo, is what you're saying, right?
Super Nintendo. No, that's the
What the hell you
regular
mean?
regular Nintendo. They call it
I'm not
Nintendo
I'm
card for
not
a
old
reason.
enough for Nintendo. Okay.
No, you gotta go
So,
back. If
yeah.
you can beat
I
some of those
was
old games, forget about it. You'll do anything in life.
I don't know. Some of the new ones are like it's rocket science just to even log in and figure out how to move.
Yeah.
But and I've played games. I'm not like some, no, that's interesting. But I mean, I think I mean, it's like anything else. It does take a long time. Like that's the thing too. You're not going to build some personal brand overnight. But your fastest way to do it is to be freaking relentless.
Yeah.
Like get rid of your fear of it and just like go. Like if you watch this and you're wanting to build a personal brand and you've got nothing going on, right? You're somebody watching this right now and you're like, yeah, I haven't done anything. I'm scared to do this, all this stuff. And you want the quickest result possible, the magic pill. It's like go post 5 times a day. Just go like if
Yeah.
nobody's watching you yet, good. You got
Yeah.
5 a day. You go screw up on and figure it out. I mean, this is the 81st episode. I guarantee we're talking better on the 81st episode than we were on the first. You know,
For
like
sure. Well, here's the
massive action.
thing. Okay, now your website's done. Now your business cards are printed.
Hold on.
Now this is
Hold
done.
on.
It's like,
Hold
okay,
on.
well, now
No,
what? You
no, no,
still have
no.
to
I
do the
gotta come on
mail.
that one. I'm coming at you. Well, not at you, but the website thing. Like, dude, I've had like every website, but they barely hit. Like, they
Yeah.
barely hit. Very few people are probably going to go to your website. So, like,
Yeah.
this whole magical website is like,
Yeah.
they
Just because you
need
have
a
a website,
reason.
now you have to drive traffic there, right?
So that fires me up. And then the business card, it's like, that's also like, you know,
Yeah.
what's so you hand out your business card and then they throw it away and it never heard from. Why don't you text people your business card? Right. Well, hey, I'd love to give you my business card if you're ever thinking about it. What's your number? I'll make sure I send it over to you. Mine's a digital business card, right? And you just send your contact. Now you have their number.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
anyway, I get fired up about that stuff, but like
Yeah.
the
You printed
website and the
out
business card.
250 cards. Okay, they look great. Your headshot was awesome. You don't look like you're from the 80s. Now go fucking hand it out, dude. Go somewhere where there's people out and let them know what you're doing. It's still about not being a secret agent, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So were you going somewhere with that? I know I came at you on that because I was just like,
No,
I
I
hate the
forget what we're
website.
talking. I'm old. I'm starting talking about Nintendo stuff. The Switch 2 just came out yesterday. Now my mind's all over the place now.
That's yeah, that's important. Yeah, see, there was the other unique piece that I didn't think of with my personal makeup. Right, was the video games aspect.
Yeah,
That's
yeah. Like I said,
um,
everybody unwinds some way, right? You got to turn it off somehow. Yeah,
really good. So, personal branding, I mean, when it really, really, really boils down to it, it's the things you've already heard. I don't think we're out here spitting some rocket science. I mean, one thing I can tell you, anybody listening here, Jason and I have sold real estate from our personal brands, flat out. So, there's nuggets in here that are proven that you should go back and listen to because, but the basics of it is it's authenticity, it's consistency, it's doing it over, it's getting rid of that fear of judgment and just doing
yeah,
the thing. And really, a lot of these tenants work in all things, but that's what it looks like for personal brand. But and then the final piece to reiterate, it's again not your colors, your logo, your business cards, your website. It's how do you make people feel. That's your personal brand.
yeah. Your why's got to be bigger than your why not. And the nice part about it is that you're going to have some haters, right? That's good. That could be the list of the people that you need to weed out of your life anyway. So it's a good way if they're not going to be supportive on the journey, it's the quickest way to get them off the bus, right? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
you got me on that because there was two things from
I'm
that.
firing you up today.
I know, I know.
I'm getting it going. First, it was the hockey fight thing, and now you're ready.
You challenged me, but so where was it? We were talking about haters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're gonna get some haters, man.
When you
Expect
like,
it.
so personal brand, consistency, all this stuff. When you start annoying yourself, people start just seeing you. Somebody said that somewhere along my journey, and I was like, wow, like,
Yeah.
like you might be annoyed with your 50 posts, but like they're probably not even seeing you in the feed, like until you just where you've annoyed yourself. And to that point where I started to annoy myself because I had so much of it out there, I got my first hater. It was wild. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I've had a ton of experiences with this, but it's going to happen, like, because
Yeah.
not everybody likes you and you don't like everybody, like,
Yeah.
okay, find your
Good way
tribe.
to get rid of people quick.
But I mean, it was wild. I was scrolling down one day on Instagram or something, and I saw like a picture of myself that I had posted. And I'm like, wait a minute, somebody like reshared, like took a screenshot and posted, and was just like, oh, this guy's hustle culture and all this stuff. And I was just like, I was floored. I was
Yeah.
floored. It was somebody I never thought, and like, it was shocking the first time it happened. But you know what, like, that post was absolutely how I felt. So I didn't really care because it's how I
Yeah.
felt.
Yeah.
So if you don't like me, sorry.
Yeah, and like you said, the more vulnerable you are because you get yourself out there, the more haters that you're gonna get. Oh, you think you're so good? Oh, you're too good to do blah blah blah. When's enough ever gonna be enough, Chad? All that kind of bullshit. It's like, dude,
Never.
yeah, it's never gonna be enough. I have
I
bigger
live
goals
in.
and dreams. I have a lot of people that rely on me to get out there every day and make it happen and be there and be that example for them. So I don't care if I have any haters. Fuck them.
100%. And, like, I think what you said about video games, like, I'll come back to it. I play video games a lot. I really don't as much now because this became the game. A lot of times the dragons in the games are easier to slay because, there's no real consequences. Like, this is the same exact thing. There's dragons in your life that you could slay right now, but you're just choosing the ones that have less consequences in the digital world. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with playing games. I played last night, with my wife. It was the first time in a while. We played the
Nice.
Split Fiction. It was pretty cool.
Ooh, you have to
It
tell me
was
about that. Nah,
I will.
nice. Yeah,
It was neat. But yeah, so I mean, for me, like, that's why it's like, when will like, when's enough? Never, because like this is
yeah.
the same thing. When
No,
you, like,
I
you
got
should
big
have
goals,
that
man. I
passion.
got big responsibilities. I want to leave a generational wealth. I want to leave a legacy for my family and my kids' kids. I want to set the bar high for my team. I want to set the bar high for my kids and my family, and just say, hey, look at this is what's possible. Go
A
fucking get it.
challenge is fun. I don't know
Yeah,
about anybody listening, but I don't want to go to work and just like, move a block into the hole, and like, I want to have some challenge. I want to be like, I want, like, let's go
yeah.
to
That's another thing.
battle.
Once you build your brand up and stuff, be prepared for problems. Right? You got to get yourself some problems because they're the more things that you have going on, the more problems that you're going to have to solve. Right? Yeah, I was just in the car with Rick on the team, and we went to go grab some lunch because he lost a bet, which I cashed in. But anyway, I was just taking phone calls from contractors and this and that. Hey, you didn't do this, you didn't do that. You're getting fined for something. I'm like, fuck it, I'll just pay it. He's like, what? I'm like, we didn't do it the right way. I'm not going to sit there and waste my time arguing over it. Lesson learned. Time to correct it and move on. It is what it is. Does it suck? Yeah. Sometimes life smacks you in the face and tells you, hey, look, it's either a learning experience or a win, right? It's either good things or a learning experience. So it's good.
Everything's a mess behind the scenes. We all order things from Amazon, I'm sure. You think Amazon isn't there. You don't think somebody that works on Amazon doesn't have like a project management system that's just a shit show. Like, it's just a mess. The delivery didn't get there. It got sent to some other country instead of their doorstep, or you know what I mean? Or like when
Yeah.
they come out with drones, they crash and burn up, or like, we had like
Yeah, $1 billion company. You
everybody.
don't think they have issues? They send you shit a couple times, and they don't even care if as long as it got there. They don't care how many you got.
So true, man. That's so true. I got
They'll
like,
figure it out and they'll make it up on the next one. Lesson learned. Time to move on.
dude, that is, and everybody listening, like, that's true,
Yeah.
unless you
How many
don't use
times?
Amazon.
Yeah. One
But
time I ordered a desk. I got 3 desks, like desks for my office. I like
you got
called them. I'm
3?
like, dude, I'm sitting there trying to do more work to give you back these desks than it's worth it. Eventually I just gave them out. I'm like, fuck it. You guys don't want them. I'm gonna I don't need 3. I'll give them away.
It's hilarious. It's so
Yeah.
freaking true. So true. Really, really good. So get out there and I like, even I don't care what business you're in, like build your freaking personal brand. Like,
Yeah, it
oh
doesn't have to
no,
be
now
real
you're more
estate.
now you're more marketable for more jobs because like people come to you for advice on the thing that you know the thing about. Good. Like I
Yeah,
think that it's going to create
yeah.
more opportunity for you in your life.
If you're a plumber, be the best plumber. Let everybody know of all the plumbing jobs that you did and all the problems that you solved for clients that had plumbing issues. You're a contractor. Here's all the home renovation projects that I did, and I helped them out. And look how nice these are now. And they increase the home value X, right?
And here's the last
Or if
piece.
you're a beautician and you're not working on me because I'm bald, but hey, look at I did Susie's hair. It looks awesome. She was brown or starting to turn gray, and I got it nice and blonde or whatever. Get the lessons out there.
And you're one of those now, and you think, this other person marketing in the same maybe field as you, like I'm better than them, I could do this, that, and better. You think that inside. Well, why the hell doesn't anybody else know that? Go show it. Go
Yeah,
show it so you can attract who you need to. If you got a better product or a better service or a better
yeah,
opinion of something, cool, get it out there. Don't throw shade at somebody who's out there doing what you're not. Go out
yeah.
there and make it known so that you can get that quality service that you think you have so well done. Get it out there. That's your duty.
Yeah, and I've been listening to that podcast, Founders, for quite a while now, and they talk about all the founders of these companies, and they might not have the greatest product, but what are they all good at? Getting their product out there to the masses. So if you can't do that and nobody knows how good you are, then you're not going to be as successful as somebody that does. So get yourself out there, expect the haters, keep persevering, beat Mario, and move on.
And that's all we got. See you on the next one.